What's going on there, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Craftavore Tastes, and today we are digging into a beer from Sand City Brewing out of Northport, New York. This is IPA, and don't call me Shirley. Sweet little airplane reference going on there. So yeah, I was actually visiting some family out on the island, and I consider Sand City Brewing out of Northport to be Long Island's best brewery. So I stopped by and actually picked up some cans. So what's kind of funny about this beer is there's another beer available that was called Shirley You Can't Be IPA. So obviously they were released on the same day, and what's kind of odd about it is the one I'm going to review today, which is IPA and don't call me Shirley, is actually just a singular, like, low ABV IPA, 4.9%, which obviously is more along the lines of pale ale territory. And actually, Shirley You Can't Be IPA, I believe, is a double IPA. Yeah, coming in at 8.7% ABV. So it seems as though this one should kind of come first, right? And then the airplane reference follow up next, although obviously one is significantly lower in ABV than the other, so you would assume you'd drink the lower ABV one first and then ladder up to the double. But whatever, it seems like it goes in reverse order. So I'm going to go ahead and actually review just I Am an IPA, Don't Call Me Shirley today, and then we will get to an episode where we will review the other one. Alright, so as I said, this is actually super fresh canned on 12/3, 4.9% ABV, and it's an IPA. I don't really know anything more about the hops or anything else, so let's get straight into the review. Yeah, so let's go ahead and pop a top on this guy, take a look at the appearance, get the aroma, taste it, and then of course we're gonna rate it. All right, so let's get that lined up right there. Pop a top and get started. All right, so let's get that beer into the glass, pouring out nice and gorgeous and hazy, as has become Sand City's kind of signature. Get that line lined up. All right, so how does this beer look? Yeah, it looks absolutely freaking gorgeous. Super massive, full-on turbidity, full-on New England style haze. Medium light, kind of straw yellow color. About a finger and a quarter of just kind of like this nice kind of like fluffy kind of white eggshell head. Looks absolutely awesome. Let's dive our nose into it and get an aroma. Oh man, so remove my glasses. So huge kind of tropical fruit notes with a little bit of a berry thing kind of going on there in the background. So I'm assuming we got some mosaic in play here from a hop perspective. Yeah, holy smokes. Yeah, that's total kind of mixed kind of berry, kind of blueberry, a little bit of that nature kind of rolling out. There is also kind of like a layering of just kind of dank, kind of like weed kind of going on. Sand City beers, to me, oftentimes, especially their IPAs, I do get a very strong cannabis aroma from a lot of their particular beers. This is no different. So yeah, it's like, there's like a fruity quality as well. It goes beyond just kind of berry, like maybe perhaps like a little bit of mango, kind of papaya, and then at the last note, I got it. Total strawberry note going on. Yeah. So it's tropical fruits mixed with berries and kind of strawberry with a little bit of kind of dank weed kind of going on there as well to kind of just kind of envelope the whole entire thing. It smells freaking awesome, man. These guys brew killer beers. So stoked to dive into it. Cheers. Wow. Okay, so in the taste, there's a lot more grassiness and kind of herbaceousness that's coming out of the taste. Still getting a little bit of that berry note that's kind of hanging around. But yeah, there's this kind of, there's an overlay of grassy, herbaceous, almost slight kind of green onion or like scallion thing kind of going on there, which is kind of super interesting. The mouthfeel's pretty nice. There's no question. There is a slight kind of bit of creaminess to it, even for a beer at that low ABV, which is kind of awesome. Crackery, bready malt. However, I will say that 4.9% ABV stands out a little bit like a sore thumb. In the standpoint of, you know you're drinking a super low ABV beer when you're drinking this beer, because there isn't a tremendous amount of backbone as it relates to the malt. It's there, it's just enough to get by, and then as you kind of get through the middle of like your palate, I think your taste buds and your palate in general is kind of clinging on to like some more malt to follow, and it doesn't, and it just kind of leaves it like that, right? Like kind of one-noted it. Gonna go back in for another taste. Yeah, and so there's my palate looking for it, and it just is kind of not there. But you know what? It's a 4.9% IPA. This doesn't surprise me that this is the case with that particular beer. So all right, let's go ahead and give her a rating. Final thoughts. Aroma's awesome. Berry big notes, a little bit of tropical fruits, kind of dankness going on. Taste follows kind of the nose in terms of the berry note and the strawberry, but then it kind of layers on an additional kind of complex kind of green onion, chive, scallion thing kind of going on. But yeah, like you just want a little bit of more malt in the sense to help round out the beer. With that said, obviously they went for something specific, right? To brew a beer at 4.9% ABV and call it an IPA. It's a very crushable beer. There's no question. It is clean. It is crisp. It is refreshing. It kind of does everything that you want it to do. And so from that perspective, the beer's good, right? For what the ABV is. For me, yeah, you know, I'm itching for a little more, is pretty much what I'm going to say. So I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a rating. I'm going to go ahead and give this beer a... Man, that's tough. I'm going to give it 4 caps. I could be hard-pressed to give it a 3.75, but I think that's a little... I think that's a little under, and I don't think it kind of does the beer justice, because the beer is brewed extremely well, amazingly crushable, and I could drink a lot of them. I just would like to have a little bit more malt profile going on, to have a bit more of an overall kind of balanced beer. All right, but it is expertly brewed, as always, from Sand City Brewing Company. So, yeah. That'll do it for this episode of Craftavore Taste, all right? Sand City Brewing Company. I am IPA, and don't call me Shirley. 4.9% ABV, 4 caps from the Craftavore Tastes. All right, that'll do it for this episode. Hope you join me again for another episode where I drink, I review, I rate, and I repeat. Cheers.